Hi everyone, this is Pcm.Agostinho, and this is, I believe, episode 14 of my career mode with only Portuguese riders. And we are on the 20th of October, so it's pretty much season wrap up here. And I have some good news and some bad news. So I probably going to start with the bad news. The bad news is that looking at the season results here, what we can see is that we missed out. Even though we went Continental, we were the highest ranked team here. Uh, on the Super Prestige, we just missed out on being on second place behind IKEA by just 238 points. 238 points. That's pretty much winning two HC stage races. That's about 320 points, something like that. So that's how close we got. Um, I played a lot this last few months of the season, trying to get those results, and I asked for invitations for pretty much every race that we had in the last few months of the season, but we just were denied a lot of races. The ones that we were able to play with, we got a lot of great results, but it was just not enough. I mean, DSM was our main competitor for a lot of time, but they just keep getting decent results, and they ended up uh, ahead of Arkea. Arkea kind of had, I think they had like 4K points with about 2 months left to the season, so they really stagnated there at the end. But we just didn't have enough to get them. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate because for a second I think we would have invitations for all the classics World Tour classics. And if this goes like this season, where we ask for invitations for all the World Tour races, and we're basically denied in every race. That was basically what happened. So hopefully that's not the case next season. If we would have won the super prestige in terms of the continental teams, we wouldn't have that problem. So if we won, we would have priority in all the races. So here's one thing that we maybe can start thinking about is getting to race in the World Tour without being World Tour, and that's something that we might try to do. It would be interesting to win a Grand Tour without being a World Tour team, and I think we have a chance of being able to do that if we are able to get those invitations. So if we win the Continental, if we are the best placed team in the Super Prestige classification, and the best placed team in terms of the Continental teams, I think we can get an invitation to the Giro, to the Vuelta, and I think there we can try and get the win because we got the guy to do it. We got him for 3 seasons. We overpaid the guy. Yes, we overpaid Morgado. And we were unable to re-sign Yuri, and we were unable to go after Guerreiro. But we still we have some guys developing. So I think there's still a chance we can eventually get to the World Tour, but that's going to require a lot of development from uh, from our top guys that have more potential. So we got Morgado obviously, and then I got a few more guys that I'm going to show you really quick. Just to wrap up this situation here, as you can see, we were the fourth team that won more races, 45 races. That's a lot of wins for a team like ours. Obviously, the fact that I was playing helped a lot because if I just simmed all through the races, we probably would have won 30 maybe. I'm not sure we would have won that many. So this is World Tour. We won the Continental. Too bad the invitations aren't made through the Continental rankings. Um, yeah, if they were, we would be the first place. We just beat Arcadia, barely beat Arcadia. So what helped these teams were the points that they made on the World Tour races, where we had 0 points basically, because we didn't get invitations to those races. Looking just at the rankings, Portugal we see here, World Tour we got 13th place, Continental 3rd place. That's pretty much mostly our points, and Super Prestige Portugal 7th place. So hopefully there's an improvement on the training structures of Portugal. So we'll see more um, better quality of riders coming out from the youth ranks, from all the scouts that are out there. They can find better talent. So maybe that's going to be a good thing. Portugal also had 56 wins. We had like 45 or 43 or whatever it was. How many? Yeah, 45. So most of those wins were from us. Um, so what else can we look? Yeah, I said just before we look back to our team, I said I had good news. Well, the good news is that we were able to stay Continental Pro, and that's basically due to the fact that our main guy Morgado, he leveled up again. He is now 5.5 stars and still has some room to grow. Some room to grow as a climber, and has a puncher, and is now 80 mountain, 75 hills, 75 time trial, and he's got 82 stamina, 77 resistance, 79 recovery. If we can get an invitation to the Giro or something like that, I think we can win the Giro. As long as there's no, I don't know, Pogacar in fitness peak or something like that. If the Philip Giro isn't too tough, I think we can win there. If the top guys aren't there, same can be said about the Vuelta. Tour is another story because usually there's always a Pogacar, some Vingegaard, whatever. One of those guys that is in the fitness peak and just impossible to beat with the team that we have, because we really don't have a great team surrounding Morgado. We just basically have him and not much more. But yeah, I think it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to do that. Thing is, are we going to get an invitation to the Giro? That might be hard to hard to get. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe the Vuelta. Maybe we can get an invitation to the Vuelta. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we're gonna stay Continental Pro. It's just a few days away, so nothing. I don't. I think pretty much every rider that could change the situation is out of the market. So, and we can look here at the starting attributes from our guys. Besides Morgado, Pedro Silva also leveled up. He's now 4 stars. As you can see, he's now 75 sprint. So he is a pretty decent guy. So 73 mountains, 74 hills, and then 75 sprint, 76, 77 acceleration. Not a lot of stamina, that's not great, but I think he can win some races for sure. Even in the World Tour, if he's in a fitness peak or something, I think he can win some races. Some of those races where there's a small group that gets in front there. Maybe he can win if the field isn't too tough. He can win a sprint in a small group. Gatron Oliveira, he was injured at the end of the season. He's now 75 mountains, 72 hills. We missed him on the last few months of the season because he could have gotten some results that maybe could have allowed us to get through Arcadia, but we were unable to have him. He injured himself. I'm not sure what the race was. I don't know if it was the Volta a Portugal or other race. I'm not sure. André Carvalho was also injured. He's pretty much stagnated. He's not gonna get any better. Gonçalo Tavares though, he has improved. He is now 73 mountains, 73 hills. The problem is he is pretty much maxed out. That is the problem because there are some databases or some situations that he is almost as good as Morgado, and we kind of needed him to be as good as Morgado to get into the World Tour. Without him, it's gonna be hard. But let's see. Let's see. João Oliveira still has a bit of evolution in him. Not a lot, but still has a bit. And same can be said for Pedro Silva. So, if these guys, both these guys, can reach their maximum, uh, maybe it's gonna be enough to get to the World Tour. If Morgado also maximizes his stats, but I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see um, if that pans out or not. We don't have much more guys with potential. We just have a bunch of helpers. I'm going to advance probably and just look at how the team is going to look in the next season. And we get the confirmation will be Continental Pro in the next season. And we can see the rankings here. Still had a few teams behind us. I mean, those level ups really help. I think at the start, right after the transfer, the transfers were finished for my team, I think I was like in a similar spot to this team here, Flanders, Palois. So those leveled ups really pushed us through a bit up there, and we are still half a star behind the first World Tour team, that is Archaea. Well, which now leaves me a question. So, if Archaea moves into the World Tour, are we going to get those invitations instead of instead of they getting the invitations because they don't need them, right? Okay, so we'll see what's going to happen. Same for DSM. DSM is also World Tour. So it's UnoX and AG2R that were demoted. Did I stay above these teams? Let's see. Let's see here. We're ahead of Intermarché Wanty, Movistar, Israel. Oh, this says change already. Okay. I mean, looking at this now, we are the first continental team in this ranking because Archaea and DSM are already have the World Tour there. So maybe this means we'll be getting those invitations. So that would be something. Well, wow. I'm now looking forward to get to the start of next season to try and see if that's going to be the case. That would be absolutely amazing news for our team. So what were the teams again that were demoted? So UnoX and AG2R. Those are the World Tour that are not World Tour anymore. So, well, they're not ahead of us. It is UnoX and AG2R. Where the hell are they? AG2R. Where are those guys? Did you guys? I mean, if I could ask you guys, hey, did you see those guys there? Oh, AG2R is just behind us. Just behind us. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. Just show you guys the team. It's looking good. It's pretty much looking the same that we saw before. We now have Rodrigo Figueiredo. He's going to be a good helper in the mountains. Everyone else is pretty much the same as it was before, I think. No big changes. And we're just gonna put the trainers here to the guys that still don't have trainer, like this guy Diogo Fernandes. He's mostly a climber. And this guy Portello, who is kind of a punchy sprinter guy. I have to wait and see how he develops. We'll put him with the other trainer, and yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna try and fly through to the end of the season to see what happens. And I had to take a break on the video, but we are now in the 1st of January, and we got some good news here. We got the news that Portugal has improved its training structures, so that means that the quality of the riders is going to improve. So we have a higher chance of getting guys with great potential coming out of the Portuguese view of ranks. So that's one good news. Looking at the sponsors' objectives, you can see there's a bit of a change. We are going to race in some minor World Tour races at least. We don't really have good guys on cobbles, but we got this Minerva Classic and Dwarflander. Those have some cobbles, I think. Not a huge amount of cobbles, but some. And we, as usual, have the Volt Volgarve. So we're gonna go with Morgado to that race. And one thing that I found interesting is that in our riders' objectives we already have some more tour races. And we already have the invitations. I asked for a few more invitations, but from what I can see, we already asked to be in some races, like the Tirreno Adriatico and the Strade Bianchi and Milan-San Remo. So I don't know if this means we're going to get invites for those specific races. What I can see is that our riders had already had some of those races as objectives, so that is interesting. So we got Itulia Basque Country, for instance, here as an objective for Morgado. Same with Tirreno Adriatico, same with Strade Bianchi. So I think we might get an invitation to those. So that would be very interesting. Also, Criterium du Dauphiné as well. So we might be able to be in all those races. So that's interesting. And I think we can manage those objectives that we have. We have some early season objectives, as you can see, top 10s here. I'm not gonna send Morgado there, so we're gonna have to be one of our guys who has like 71, 72. We're gonna have to go with one of those guys for those early objectives. If our guys are in the fitness peak, I think they can get a top 10 there in those kind of races. But we'll have to wait and see if we can do that. And we get some great news here because of the promotion of DSM and Arkea. We have, as well as AG2R, priority on invitations for all races on the SIA World Tour calendar. So yeah, I don't think we're going to ask for invitations for all World Tour races, but yeah, we are going to be I mean, we can actually make the 3 Grand Tours. I don't think we have a team for it, but if I knew this, I wouldn't have asked for an invitation for the Giro, because I think automatically I already had an invitation for the Tour and the Vuelta. Actually, the Vuelta, no, I don't think we have an invitation for the Vuelta. Well, whatever. Well, we might be looking at a situation where Morgado is going to do the Giro Tour double. It's probably not going to be in great shape for the Tour, but I mean, we again, like I said, I think we got a chance at the Giro. If he shows up there in the fitness peak, I think we certainly have a chance there. But yeah, we'll have to see how it goes until then. So probably just gonna go ahead and advance until the first objective of the season and see how we do there. And the final 8 kilometers of the first objective of the season, and things are not looking well for our top 10. We got 11 guys up ahead, and yeah, it's not going to be easy to get this this top 10, but we'll try to. Maybe you can catch those guys if they are out of energy. I think Jaganto's probably going to have to attack right now. In the small climb, try to make the bridge to those guys there, and yeah. Let's see if he can pass through those guys. No. Oh, maybe he can beat these guys. Oh god, we... Okay, 11th. Yeah. Yeah, the race kind of broke at this point here. At this climb, we weren't able to be ahead with the field here, and we're just not able to get this first objective. But yeah. It wasn't really a big one. It was just to have a race on this first episode of the season, and yeah, let's just show you a few things to wrap this up. I just want to show you the objectives. So Morgado is gonna do the Giro Tour double. And yeah, we're gonna focus a lot on the World Tour races that we have, since we can have an invitation for any one of those. So obviously we're gonna be focusing on that. Their main objectives are just the Algarve and the national championships, and not much more than that. So I'm really going to try and focus on that. We also are going to have Strade Bianchi and Tirreno Adriatico, and we're also going to do Milan-San Remo. I think that's a classic that I usually do well, even though I don't have a great sprinter, but I think we have a good strategy that usually works there. It's basically form a train in the Poggio and try to attack, and usually able to break the peloton. And then on the descent, I usually can get enough separation to just win the race, or get at least a good result. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I think that's it. Squad, not a lot of changes so far. I mean, Morgado is leveled up again, so that's, I guess, a change. He is now 6 stars, so he's looking pretty good. Could improve a bit on hills, but other than that, I mean, the guy's just a machine, man. Just a machine. And Oliveira is improving. Already 4 stars. Peterson as well. This still can improve a bit. Yeah, got a few more guys here still developing. None of them have a big ceiling, but I think the team is looking a lot better than it used to be, and really excited about this season. Get some more tour races in, get some more some big tours, and yeah, let's see if Morgado can bring home the bacon. That's how they say it here on Pro Cycling Manager on the game. So yeah, see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, see you in the next one.